Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in here and let you guys know that yes, we are going to be talking about drug use and drug abuse. I do not condone it. I do not suggest that anyone do this. And also, do not drink until you are of the legal age wherever you are. Love you guys.
Hey y'all. If you are already subscribed, welcome back, my darling. And if you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? We may have already hit 100 subscribers before this, but if not, I will still put a secret emoji in this video. So even if we did hit 100 subscribers, I am going to keep the giveaway open until through this video being posted. So even if we've already hit 100 subscribers, there's a secret emoji in this video. I'm actually going to put it on the screen right now. This is a secret emoji, and this is the last secret emoji that I will have documented. So be sure to comment it down below for an extra entry into my 100 subscriber giveaway. And do not forget, I've had a couple of people ask, yes, you do in fact need to be subscribed to my channel to be qualified to win this giveaway. And this giveaway is going to be a gift card to a place of your choice. So whoever wins, they will get a gift card for a place of their choosing. Okay, you guys, you can read the title. This is the first time that I ever done shrooms. Let's go ahead and just get on started. First, you guys, I do want to go ahead and give a disclaimer. I will be talking about drug use and drug addiction in this video. If either of those things are triggering or hard for you to listen to or are painful to you in any way, please do go ahead and click out of this video right now. This video is intended for those of 18 or older. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay guys, so like I mentioned in my addict story when I opened up to you guys and told you guys that I am a recovering addict, I did mention that to you guys that before I got addicted to painkillers, the only other things that I had ever done was smoked cigarettes, smoked some weed, and shrooms. For the rest of this video, we are going to call them mushrooms, okay? So this happened when I was in 12th grade. I was a senior, and it wasn't that I was hanging out with a bad crowd or anything. I got along with everybody, to be honest with you guys. I had friends that I guess were popular. I had friends that were on, in sports. I hung out with pretty much everybody. I was always the funny one. Always. I've always been the funny one, and I'm fine with that. So this group of friends of mine that I was not as close to, but I was still pretty close with a couple of them. They were like, hey Morgan, we're having a party this weekend. It's going to be on a farm, which is very normal for this area. A lot of parties were held on families' farms. We're from East Tennessee, so there's farms everywhere. And this was like no other. We were going to go and we were going to have a party on a farm. I'm like, sure, cool. Now, do keep in mind that during this time period, I had went through my first ever real breakup. This was my first real boyfriend, that you do everything with. He was my first everything. First time holding a hand, first time giving a hug, first time giving a kiss, and everything else, okay? So I was devastated for a very long time. Very, very long time. Your first love is the hardest person, I feel, to get over. And I just remember that time just being really, really hard for me. And I was very vulnerable, but I was still old enough to make my own decisions. I turned 18 6 months before we graduated. So at this point, it was football season, so I don't think I had turned 18 yet. No, I did not turn 18 because it was around this time. That's why I'm telling this story. So I know I hadn't turned 18 yet. We go to this party. It's after a football game on a Friday night. And we get to this farm. And there are kids from all over. So like I've mentioned to you guys before, Halls is like a middle town. So Halls is in the middle, and around it, you've got Union County, you've got Gibbs High School, you've got Powell High School, you've got Central High School, all around Halls High School. So this party had kids from all over. I probably knew 50 out of the maybe 200 kids that were on this farm, and that is no exaggeration. There were a shitload of kids on this farm. And we're just partying, normal senior stuff. We are drinking. And a girlfriend of mine comes over, and me and her had gotten super, super close my senior year. Both of my best friends had moved away. So I was, my best friend, we'll call her Jessie. She had moved away and was going to another high school, and I was devastated about her not going to Halls anymore. And then my other friend, she had moved as well, like towards the end of the year. And I was just devastated. So I was looking for a friend at this time. I needed a friend. And me and this girl, we'll call her Casey, get really, really close. So Casey walks up to me and she's like, Morgan, oh my gosh, girl, we're going to have so much fun tonight. Look what I got. And she holds up a baggie. And to me, I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, I thought it was like some type of, I don't know. It looked very, very weird. Definitely not what you would, well, maybe you would imagine. I don't know. It kind of looked like mushrooms. But at first glance, I literally thought it was like pieces of like soil with like some type of weird root plant. Like, I didn't know what the hell it was. She's like, they're shrooms, they're shrooms. And I obviously had heard about shrooms before. Obviously, like other kids that I went to school with had done shrooms before. So I had heard of other people's experiences on shrooms. Long story short, not only did we do the shrooms, but we split the baggie. And there was a lot of mushrooms in there, like a lot. And a guy friend of mine was like, holy shit, you just ate that whole half bag of mushrooms? And I was like, yeah, Casey told me that if I didn't eat half of it, that I wasn't going to feel anything. And for the longest, I didn't feel nothing until boom, all of a sudden. And what happened is there was a guy at the party who had brought stuff to make lemon drops. So if you're not familiar with lemon drops, it's a certain type of mixed drink. They are bomb. They taste like those lemon heads. I love them. As soon as I took that shot and put it back down, I started tripping. And at first, it wasn't too weird. At first, I just felt like when I was looking at someone and having a conversation, it almost looked like their eyes were like drooping, kind of anime-ish like. So like people were turning into animes, I guess. That's it. It's hard to explain. But their eyes, like they would be talking and it would start to like go like this. But the top of their eye would lift too. So it wouldn't look weird like that. Like it would look normal. It would just look like their eyes had been elongated. The next thing I remember was we were sitting around a fire. There was probably about 15 or 20 of us sitting there. And there was this guy sitting there that had started talking to me who I knew had a crush on me. I knew this guy had a crush on me. And he's just sitting there and he's talking to me and he's like, Morgan. And I, in my ears, and I'm hearing like a bark. And I'm like, and I guess I'm looking at him like that. And he's like, why are you looking at me like that? And I said, why are you barking at me? And he said, I wasn't. I was saying Morgan. So that's like the second thing that started to happen. Like people were talking and I was hearing like sound effects. So I would hear like police sirens, dogs barking. Also, Casey asked me for the car keys and she's like, hey, where's the car keys? And I thought she said, meow, like that. So she was like, had her head turned and she looked at me and said, hey, where's the car keys? And this is what I thought she did. Meow. Like weird. And so I'm like, why did you just meow at me? And she's like, bitch, you're tripping. I asked where the car keys were. And so then it was almost like things were okay, except I saw faces on trees. And if I stared at a tree long enough, like the branches would turn into like arms and hands, and the wind was blowing because it was like fall time. It was chilly outside. And I was like walking over where the trees were from the fire because I get freaked out because the fire kind of like an amber burst and I could see my mom's face. And I thought it was my mom, like the fire, my mom was turning into herself out of fire. I panic. I walk over to the tree line. the guy that was interested in me at the time, he walks over to me and he's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I ate a half a bag of those shrooms. He's like, oh dear God. He said, I'm going to kill Casey. And I'm like, I'm fine. The next thing I know, we're standing by the tree line. Like I said, this tree blows, and I think it grows an arm and is wrapping its arm around, we'll call him Scott, and is pulling him back. But Scott was just like backing up. I don't know why, but he was just like taking a few steps back, whatever. I'm like, oh my God. And I start panicking. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. He's like, what? I said, you're getting grabbed by a tree. He said, what are you talking about? I took 2 steps back. And I was like, oh my God, I'm really tripping. I cannot go home. He's like, well, that's fine. Just call your mom and I will take you. You can just come to my house. And I'm like, oh, no. I'll go to Casey's. Well, Casey was so messed up. She was going home with the guy. So I end up, and I'm like, okay, Scott, whatever. So the ride to Scott's house, I don't even know if I can put it into words because it's going to sound so bizarre. But Scott was like, you need to eat something. I think it's important that you eat. And I'm like, okay, let's go to Taco Bell. But on the way there, the car ride was just so weird. Power lines. Okay, so you would see, because it was pitch dark, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. You would see like the street lights. Well, the power lines in between, I thought were like coming down and turning into arms. Like it was so bizarre. The street lights would like, the light was moving and like stretching out. Like it was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And we go to Taco Bell, we eat, and after I eat, I really start to feel like a lot better. Until we go to his house and he lives on a gravel driveway. As soon as I start to hear this gravel driveway, I'm like, oh my God, where are all those dogs? And he drove a Jeep Wrangler. So on these rocks, I don't know if it's because it sounded like a lot louder because of the tires. I'm not sure, but I heard like a bunch of dogs, like herds of dogs. And Scott was like, there ain't no dogs. And I said, what the hell is all that barking? He said, that's not barking. That is my gravel on my driveway. And I'm like, okay. He was like, dear God. He said, are you sure you weren't roofied? I said, I don't know, maybe. He said, you're tripping really hard. And I said, well, hell, I've never done shrooms before and drank on top of it. So we end up going into his house. We stay up for a while. We end up watching a movie that was really weird. Like the colors on the screen were running together. And I had the weirdest dreams of my entire life that night. So I don't know still to this day if I was given anything else at this party. There were 2 other girls at the party who said that they ended up having to get their stomach pumped that night. But neither one of them went to my school, so I don't know if that's like 1,000% true or not. But I was messed up, and Scott told me the next morning, like, I don't remember anything hardly when we went to bed. I know that I laid there and stared at his ceiling, and like his ceiling fan was tripping me out. I had him get up and cut his ceiling fan off. And I don't really remember anything. I remember hearing him snore and me thinking that he was talking to me. And so I looked over at him and I'm like, what are you saying? And he was asleep snoring. So I don't know. He said that in the middle of the night that I tripped him out, that at one point that I was sitting up in the bed and he was like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm watching a movie. So it was really crazy. Again, I don't know. He even thought that maybe the shrooms were laced with something or had been dipped in something. I don't know. I don't know much about that type of stuff. But I had such a blast on it, and I'm Morgan and I'm an idiot. I did it like 3 more times after that. But after the first time I did it, I didn't have an experience like that again. That was like the weirdest shrooms experience I've ever experienced. So I don't know, you guys. I thought this would be really entertaining for you guys to hear. Just picture a little high school Morgan Oh man, oh man, oh man. Also, don't forget, you guys, yesterday I uploaded my very first vlog on this channel. It's boring, but it also has some good stuff in it. I share my nighttime routine. We have a mukbang, but it's my first vlog. So like the angles are horrible. And there's also a whole entire clip that was about 7-8 minutes long. I ended up editing it down where I filmed completely backwards. So if you need a good laugh, go watch that vlog because I'm sure you'll get you one out of it. But yeah, you guys, this is a story of the first time that I did shrooms. And yeah, I hope that you got you a laugh out of this as well. Also, you guys, do not forget that this is the last video that is going to have a secret emoji in it for the 100 subscriber giveaway. I will be starting a whole new set of secret emojis starting on October 1st, and that will be for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Unless if for some reason we end up gaining subscribers quicker, and then I will do it beforehand. But I just want to thank everyone who has come to my channel. I love every single one of you guys so very much. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, or want to see anything in particular, please let me know in the comment section down below. I respond to every single comment. You can ask anyone subscribe to me. I will reply. Also, I just want to remind you guys that all of my social medias are linked down below in the description box for your convenience. And again, I am going to shout out next Friday's beauty and documentary breakdown. We're going to be changing it up. I had over 85 of you guys message me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everywhere wanting to see me break down the This Is Paris documentary. So we're doing it next Friday. I will have it linked down below in the description box so you guys can go and watch it beforehand. Always watch the documentaries before I post. That way you know what we're going to be breaking down. But yeah, you guys, I love you all so very, very much. And until next time, bye.